Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Shades of My Day. Today we will learn how to design the King Kong movie poster. So let's drive right into Photoshop. So for this project we'll be using 1080 by 1350. So I've already opened the file here, the first file here. So these are the files we'll be using for the project. They are in the link in the description below. So let's go straight to the project. So this is our first image that we'll be using. So you create layer mask, come here, gradient tool, map it out like this, gently like this. Make sure it doesn't touch the grass area, gently like this. Sorry, the cloud area rather. So let's bring in our second image, drag it in like this. Click OK. We'll do the same thing, layer mask, map it out like sorry, gradient tool, sorry, map it out like this, very easy, map it out, good. Let's go further, map it out. Let's change blend mode to screen. Okay, so we bring in our water file, drag it in, click OK, create layer mask, gradient tool, brush gently, drag gently, yeah, click OK. Now let's bring in our King Kong, almighty King Kong, drag it in, reduce it, so it's gonna be behind the water image, drag it behind the water image. So we'll change the blend mode for this to linear light. Yeah, sorry, it's loading. So linear light, let's try, yes, linear lights rather. So let's try to decrease the King Kong image a little bit. Press Ctrl T to transform, to reduce the image. I want to make it look realistic. Now what we'll do now is we want to add a little bit more life to the King Kong. So we will come to filter, camera raw, while it's loading we'll wait. Now for these settings, let's set contrast at, okay, let's check that 87, 86, highlights around 18, then for the shadows 49, texture 89, make it look more real, 89, let's try 18, 88. Then for the clarity, let's take it down to 34. It's too deep. Let's try this, 21. Then saturation, let's say 47, 46, 46. Okay, so we've added more life to the King Kong image. I think this is still showing some shadow. Let's brush this down a little bit. Yes. Yeah. So we can clearly see our King Kong image now. Create a new layer here. New layer. Now we want to make use of the brush tool. So on your keyboard, press B. That's the shortcut. So at opacity 100%, flow 100%, smoothing 10. Then this is my brush size. Let's click it like this. Make it look more realistic. Okay, you can probably reduce it a little bit like this. Reduce a little bit. Add a little around the image like this. Click OK. Now you come to the image. Let's drop shadow. So for this I'm using blend mode rather, multiply, opacity 32, distance 2, spread 18, size 46, as you can see on my screen. So click OK. So you added a little bit of life to the image now, looking more realistic. So let's work on the King Kong image. Let's zoom into our image. So let me drag in our scar, the first scar. Okay, drag it like this. Change the blend mode to multiply. Ctrl J for duplicate. Ctrl J for duplicate. Make it look more realistic. You can drag it like this if you want. Ctrl J again. And Ctrl J also. Now this one will add a little tweak to it. We don't want to see any excess line there. So you come to our layer mask, B for brush, as usual. Gently brush. Note that it's at 100%. Gently brush around it. You can also Ctrl J too. Maybe look, you can reduce the opacity a little bit. Yeah, yes. So we are done with this. Now we will drag in our rain image. The rain image, drag it in like this. Expand. Change the blend mode to color dodge. So we'll drag in our chain. Depending on how you want it to. This is how I want mine. This is how I want mine. Click OK. Drag in the skull to the skull image rather, sorry. Drag in the skull image. So for this, we'll layer marks B for brush. Let's reduce the brush a little bit. Slightly brush like this. Let it blend. Then you can reduce the opacity like this. You see, it looks more realistic like this. Reduce the opacity. Then for the chain too, if you want to reduce the opacity, you can do that too. Make it look more realistic if you want to. See, it's taking shape. So let us try to erase some part of the rain. Layer mask here, B for brush. Let's increase it a little bit. So we're having so something like this. Okay, let's drag in our warships, our warheads. Now for this, you can position it anywhere you like. Reduce this, flip, vertical, sorry. For this, let's place it somewhere like this. Somewhere like this. Let's drag this into. Drag this in. Reduce it. Reduce it. This is okay. Should we drag in more images? No. Let's work with just these two images. Oh, let us drag this like this. Let's drag this like this. Let's bring this in. Let's bring this in. Make it very small. Make it very small. Now it's shaping up already. Now let us try to add more life to these images. Ctrl Shift A for camera raw. You can add a little bit of contrast to it. Click OK. Not too much. Okay, is this image? Not too much. For this it's okay. Let's okay. For this, okay, for this last a little bit more contrast to this one. Okay. It depends on your taste too, on your preference too. I actually dedicated more time to design my own, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just giving you an idea on how you can go about it. You can actually do it your own way too. It's very, very okay that way, so you can do it your own way. So let's bring in our flare. Bring in the flare, drag it in like this. Yes. So it should look like a like kind of splash, bullet splash. So drag in the bullet, the first bullet. Let's drag this in. Gonna be like this. Let's reduce our bullets. Okay, bullets. Let's drag in the second one. See, what I'm doing here is just my own. Oh. You can actually recreate your own too. You can recreate your own. Drag it like this too. So let me turn it this way. So it's bullets on all sides. Bullets on all sides. So let us. Okay. Yeah. So this is how you create a King Kong kind of fly. So thanks for watching. You can actually create it your own way. You can breed new ideas. It's a very welcomed one. You see, this manipulation is it's fun when you recreate things your own way. You get new things. So thanks for